Learning about the arts is an essential part of a well-rounded education. And as we recognize Hispanic Heritage Month, a new children's book is meant to remind us how art can be used to expose students to different cultures. Joining us live this morning is award-winning artist and children's book illustrator John Parra. John, good morning. We have the book in front of us here. In the drawings, the illustrations, they're beautiful. I was looking through it this morning.
Oh, well, thank you, Irene. It's a pleasure to be here today.
Glad to have you. So, John, we understand you're a SoCal, you have ties to SoCal.
Yes, I grew up in Southern California, definitely. I went to actually art school in Pasadena Art Center.
Wonderful. And to you, John, why is keeping an arts education alive so important?
I mean, it's really an important factor in early childhood development, really. If you think about the creativity that gets instilled in the mind as a child develops educationally, they use that throughout their whole life. So no matter what they become in life, if they use art as a part of it, it just fosters more creative problem solving to be successful later on.
And you recently illustrated the children's book I'm holding, Spanish is the Language of My Family. How do you hope that this inspires children and exposes them to culture?
Well, I mean, the book itself is about a little boy who signs up for a Spanish spelling bee in his school, and he also learns that from his grandmother, Spanish was forbidden when she was going to school. So it's now coming kind of full circle. We're sort of recognizing that how important it is for us to respect other languages, other cultures, and make it a part of all our lives. You know, this is the United States, and we should be embracing as many different cultures and ideas as we can in our lives.
And it's not just culture and language that this book really emphasizes. How can art help kids improve emotional intelligence and also resilience?
Well, I mean, it's a way of expressing themselves as well. I myself found that art really helped me, you know, because I was a very introverted person. And I know kids communicate visually, musically, through writing, in all sorts of different ways. So if you're able to communicate your ideas better and express yourself in a very positive and constructive way, this only helps our child grow or kids grow in a very healthy and positive way.
And what do you recommend for educators? How can they help foster an arts education?
Well, you don't have to do a lot. I mean, it could just be incorporated in simple ways in other subjects, you know, whether it's science or reading or math or whatever it is. You can be quite creative in incorporating art into those things. There's plenty of examples online that you could look up. And my mom was a school teacher for 35 years. And so this is what she did as well. And she would have kids drawing, but also working with math ideas at the same time. So sort of combining subjects in the creative arts only enhances a child's educational development.
And again, going through the book with the illustrations, they're absolutely beautiful. What is it that you really, really wanted to convey with each picture?
I really wanted to show how personal the story was, because it is a personal story that affected our family, but also it has a reach that affected so many people. I've received so many emails about this already, but just that we can now feel proud about who we are, what our backgrounds are, and the languages that we speak. It's important, Spanish especially. It was the second most spoken language in the United States, and we should feel proud that we can be able to speak it and share the language. So these are some of the ideas that are talked about in the book, and also shine a light on these kids who are part of the Spanish spelling bee, because there's now a national Spanish spelling bee that they hold every year. And I just wanted to say congratulations to them as well.
I think that's all very well said. And last question for you, where can we find copies of Spanish is the Language of My Family?
Well, in most booksellers across the country, of course, online. You can also go through my website, johnparraart.com, to look up more information.
Wonderful. John, thank you so much. We appreciate it. And again, the book looks lovely.